Good morning, guys. I hope that you're having an amazing week. Today we're gonna do a get ready with me Q&A chit chat. It's been a while since I've done a Q&A, so I'm gonna be doing my makeup and answering some questions and just giving you guys kind of like life updates. I feel like a lot has been going on in the past couple of months. Now you're gonna be able to tell that I'm filming in a completely different space than my usual. I am not filming in my vanity because right now the light is not very good. So I'm in my office and I have the AC literally hitting me on the face, which is something that we both need, right? So basically I went all crazy pink with my office. You're gonna see on the next vlog, I'm gonna give you like an office tour, but basically my office is now pink with lilac and blue and super colorful. I'm still yet to receive a painting, but I love the sofa. So as per usual, all of the makeup will be linked on the description box down below, and I'm also gonna link the sofa for anyone that is curious about it. Now I finally have the cutest hairpins. These are from Dior. I got them as PR and I could not be happier about it because I always get my hair in the way, but I've never really liked the ones that I had, and I think these ones are just so cute. I do have my mirror here so I can see myself, and this is pretty much how my makeup bag looks like. So right now it's not very well organized. To be completely honest, I think I need to do a cleanup because I have so many things, but I'm gonna start with the primer. I already put SPF on. Right now I'm using the Skin Ceuticals. I hope that the camera is actually focusing on it, and it's the Advanced Brightening UV Defense Sunscreen, and it's SPF 50. I do want to get the Dior one, which is a stick, because it is very easy to apply. But let's start doing the base and replying to some questions. I got someone asking me if I actually knew how to drive a car. The answer is yes. I know that you guys never really see me driving. It's always Polo, and the reason for that is because I just find driving in Barcelona very overwhelming, and I'm not the only one who thinks this. This is something that I've talked about with so many of my friends. I love driving, but I love like road trips. I like driving on the countryside and the highway, but driving in the city, it's not something that I particularly enjoy doing. But I've been driving for over 10 years, so I'm definitely not driving as much as I used to back in Mexico, but I do know how to drive. But I'm very happy being the passenger princess and not really having to worry about it. The base serum that I like to use is the Glowy Makeup Serum by Laneige. This one is something that I've been using for years now. Now I'm gonna do my eyebrows because it's usually what bothers me the most because they're pretty uneven. Like this one is definitely fuller than this one. Kind of drives me crazy. Now all of these questions come from Instagram, and I have to report that I'm finally growing a little bit on Instagram. It was like good 2 years where I just felt so like stuck. I still love posting pictures and videos, but I just felt like my content was definitely not sticking, and I don't know, lately we have a lot of new people, so I wanted to introduce myself because I did get a couple of questions asking. One of the questions was, I'm new here, give us some general and random information about your age, where you were born, marriage, etc. And of course, I am 29 years old. My name is Lucia, but since I was really young, everyone calls me Lou. I was born in Mexico City and I am Mexican. So is my husband, that we dated for 10 years before we got married. And now we've been married for 2 years. So his name is Polo. Turning 11 years together this October. So yeah, we've been dating for quite a while. I went to college twice. The first time I studied international relations and law. I wanted to work for the UN, but then I realized that the UN is not what I expected, and the field of work was going to be not what I wanted. So I did that for 2 years. Then I took a gap year where I basically worked and traveled, and then I restarted and I did international touristic business management. That's like the name in English. I did finish it. I was actually really good at school always. I never particularly loved it, but I was good. I was actually what you would call valedictorian, like I had the best grades. But this ended up being something very unexpected that started as a little passion thing. I just always loved taking pictures, editing videos. I never really intended to become a content creator. It just went from me really having fun and enjoying it, and then it just started to formalize more and more, and then I started to grow and things started to go on track. So now this is what I do and I enjoy it so much. But in the meantime, I have done this full time. I then went back to work. Now I'm doing this full time, and I honestly have the intention of keeping it full time until I don't want to anymore. That's basically what I think. I just want to do something because I like it, not because I have to. So if at some point I stop enjoying doing YouTube, I will just go and find a nice job, and that's pretty much it. Next question is, how do I manage to have 2 golden retrievers in one apartment? I don't know if my golden retrievers are different from others, but they basically want to sleep all day. And if we take them to the park, or we recently took them swimming, I'm gonna insert some clips because Oli didn't really know how to swim. We never really took him because when he was finally able to go outside due to the vaccinations and stuff, it was already too cold to take him to the water park, because we do have a water park here in Barcelona that is just for dogs and we love it. We've gone a couple of times now. This is my concealer. It's from Tarte and it's the Double Duty Beauty in the color 27S. So yeah, pretty much the doggy water park closes, and I didn't want his first experience to be the ocean because the ocean is quite scary, especially when there's a lot of waves. Masha never really cared. The one time that we took them to the beach, Oli was like, hell nah, I'm not gonna touch that water. So we took them to the water park and they were by 1 hour. Well, Masha was a little bit crazier, but 1 hour after that, they were just like sitting with us. They are very, very chill. In the mornings, they're never like morning dogs. We could sleep until 10 and they would still lay in bed way after us. Sometimes we wake up and go have coffee or whatever and they don't want to get off the bed. And they also sleep for a really good part of the day. Like Masha right now, she's right here. She's napping. And Oli right now is completely asleep. Oli being a puppy, he does have like energy bursts sometimes, but we talk with our neighbors downstairs and they say that they don't hear it and also they don't mind it at all. They never bark, they don't destroy anything. I don't know if we were just so lucky, but Oli is 1 year old now. He never destroyed, he never bit furniture, he never even tried to bite us like playing when his teeth were coming out. Like, I don't know, he's just been a fantastic dog from day one, and Masha is even way more fantastic, so we just don't even see it as a problem. Like, I would have another one, Polo will not, but I wouldn't mind. And this might actually be a controversial opinion, but I think having 2 Goldens in an apartment is easier than having like 2 Pomeranians or 2 Chihuahuas because they just don't bark. They're really silent, they're very lazy. And yes, they play, but they're just like very, very calm. No, I haven't really been using base because my skin has been pretty good, and I'm gonna be touching wood because usually when I say that, then I start to break out. But today I'm gonna put just a little bit of foundation, and this one is from Dior. It's the Forever Skin Glow in the shade 1N. Would you ever consider having short hair like a bob cut? And the answer is, I think, I don't know, no. Like, I am very aware that my hair is very, very long. I don't know. Since I was a teenager and like a little kid, I had a lot of insecurities growing up. My hair has been the one thing that has never been an issue for me. I've always struggled with my height, body image, not liking my nose. I don't know, just the nitpicking things that we used to do as teenagers. Right now, I feel like I'm the most comfortable with myself that I've ever been, but still, like, I don't know, I really like, and I like taking care of my hair. However, during summer, like days like today, I do see the benefits of possibly having short hair and that it would be quite comfortable. Right now, I definitely need a haircut. I should definitely schedule that for this week because it is getting a little bit too long to me being even comfortable with it. But the thing is that every single time that I go to the salon, they tell me if you can grow it that long, just do it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, but I still need to use a lot of shampoo and a lot of conditioner. It's heavy. So when I put it up during the summer because I cannot have my hair down, and I know that it's like a good thing to complain about, but I don't think that I would look bad with a bob, but I feel like I would crash out afterwards. It would take me a really long time to get used to it, so maybe I can consider this in like 10 years or so. Now these are the Bronzy drops from Drunk Elephant. I'm gonna try to make the camera focus on them. Also, you're gonna notice that I haven't had my nails done in quite a bit. I am not doing the natural nails trend. This just happened because while we were in Italy, I could not find any place close to us where I could actually get my nails done. So I just didn't. And since then, I've been trying to book an appointment, but the place that I usually go to has been quite full, or just I can't. And at the same time, I cannot express enough how much editing I've had to do in the past couple of weeks that I don't know, it's not that deep. And it's probably a very needed rest for my nails because I always do the same thing to my nails. So maybe this time I'm gonna do like something very summery. Maybe I'm gonna go for something blue. But yeah, I always never give them a rest. And I actually kind of broke one of them recently, so I might need to go get them done, but I got a few people asking me about it. No, this is not on purpose. I just didn't have a place to go for a while and I've been really lazy afterwards. Now for blush, I have two blushes from Dior. One that I have not used and the other one that I use all the time. So maybe we're gonna go for the new one. This is the Dior Backstage. The new color is called Dragon Fruit. Try to show you the color. I usually use Rosewood. I love these ones because they're in stick and they're so creamy and nice. This one is the Rosewood, so let me show you side by side. You'll be able to tell that one is new and one is not new. So we're gonna use the new one. I got a few skincare and hair care questions. The first one is how I have been handling my rosacea. So whenever I'm too much in the sun, my rosacea gets pretty bad. Also, mind you, I am not a dermatologist. This is just my experience with my rosacea. So I would definitely suggest you to check in with your doctor. This is just what kind of works for me. What usually sets the redness off for me is stress, sun, and sometimes wine. I don't want to derail, but I also got a question about how can I drink so much wine. Guys, I hope you know that when I vlog is like 1 or 2 days out of my week, and it's usually the weekend, so we just have like a glass of wine. That is very normal here, and I usually have like one. I love wine. This is something that has always been in my family, but I'm not drinking every single day or anything like that. Maybe when we were in Italy, it was a little bit more, but I deserve it. I was on vacations, and any of my friends can always say that I am the most moderate drinker. I hate being drunk. I just don't like the feeling of losing control and how it feels like. It's just not for me, but I do really love wine, but that also sets off my rosacea sometimes. Also, red light therapy is something that generally has helped me so much, and also the green light therapy, because while we were in Greece, my skin got so reactive because we were just in the sun so much, and it was kind of out of our control. Even though I would keep reapplying SPF, I just came back to very reactive skin. And the red light therapy mask that I use is the FOREO FAQ 202. This is something that I usually do either early in the mornings or during the night, because your skin has to be clear, no makeup, no skincare, no nothing. Lately I've been using it a little bit more during the night, like after a full day. It has 8 wavelengths. It has the blue, the red. The green one has been fantastic for the summer, and this one, I would say it's the one that I would recommend the most for any sun damage, hyperpigmentation, dark spots, and red, that is overall the one that I use the most. I would say that this one is the one that has helped me the most with the rosacea, but it's also a factor of avoiding the things that I know that sets it off. But this is really good for calming redness and inflammation. And I do have a discount code with FOREO in case anyone is interested in checking it out. I can definitely recommend, because it is wireless and it's so comfortable, very minimal. Like most of the red light therapy masks are massive and so uncomfortable. But besides that, always use SPF. And regarding my hair, I have to say that it's been currently a little bit all over the place. I wish that I could tell you guys something specific, but I've been trying away, especially the cleansing one, because I felt that the water here in Barcelona has so much stuff. So from time to time, your hair does need a detox. And I love Kerastase, Arke Cosmetics. I love their hair products, but mainly it's just drinking water, eating well, genetics. There's so many factors that go into it. And during the summer, I've been trying to use also hair protection for the sun and the water and the pool, because usually that's what damages the most. Now, today we're gonna go a little bit crazy, and we're gonna apply the things that I learned on my last Dior Beauty makeup masterclass. I never do eyeshadow, and that's just because I really have never been good at it. So they taught us how to do a very simple one that is going to look really cute. So this is the Air Flash Mist. I actually sometimes like to use it before, then in the middle of the makeup, and then at the end, or just to take it with me because this is very hydrating. And sometimes during the day, especially on beach days, this has been amazing. It looks like this. So you're supposed to put a little bit on your hand, and then with your finger, you grab the eyeshadow palette and you mix it here, this, and it's gonna make it like a little bit milky. I'm gonna need wipes to take this off, and it's gonna look pretty natural. And they told us that we could also use it as like extra blush for that like kind of sun-kissed look. And yeah, I'm just someone that really enjoys using my fingers when I do my makeup. How do you stay motivated to create? Well, I'm not always motivated to create. It is sometimes a struggle because I love what I do, but at the same time, sometimes I just don't want to film and I don't want to edit, and social media is like a job that never really stops. I feel like evolving my content and just I don't really think on what's trending. I just think what I feel like I want to put out. And I've always genuinely loved taking pictures, taking videos, and editing and just putting things together. Like this has always been like my thing, but I definitely have like slumps where I don't know what to do. And it is very hard because there's a lot of pressure. You almost feel like a hamster on a wheel that cannot stop because I don't know, I just feel like this massive pressure to not stop. And I was actually very close to burnout when we went to Italy, but that was also because there was so much going on in my life, and I'm someone who really likes to connect with nature, so going to nature or traveling just gets the creative juices going for me. But yeah, there's definitely weeks where I'm just sitting down having no idea what I want to film, what I want to put out, not wanting to put a camera on my face or just wanting to rest. So it is definitely a struggle. My best advice would be do what you like. Only post what you love. And if you don't really enjoy it, just don't do it because it's gonna end up showing. And generally the only reason of why I think I've been consistent on YouTube for all of these years is because I've genuinely filmed, created, and put out there things that make me happy and that I enjoy. And my vlogs, for example, I see them as little diaries that I'm going to show my kids one day, or I'm going to look back on when I'm like a grandma and my travels with my husband and see the dogs and see the life that we had. Like, I don't know, I see them as really visual diaries, so I do enjoy them. Sometimes editing has me on the edge. That is something that I'm not gonna lie on. I also got a question on how I got started on YouTube. I actually started when I was in college and I loved handbags so much, so I just wanted to have someone to talk about it with. I would watch YouTube and see these girls talking about their bags and see their comment section. The luxury bag community was so amazing back then. It is so different now. And I was very embarrassed, but at the same time, it was just something that I kind of wanted to do. And it definitely took me several tries. I started my first video with my iPhone frontal camera. I was so shy because I wanted also to make the content in English, because back then all of the handbag content creators were just speaking English. They were from the US, from the UK, from Australia. So I just kind of I wanted to make friends that also liked fashion the way that I did. For me, it was just an outlet to talk about something that I was passionate about. And it took me the longest time to get to my first 1,000 subscribers. I think it was like 2 years. It took me forever to even get monetized. Like, I would put a lot of money into this. Like, it was a hobby with absolutely no expectations. And I think that's also why it went well for me, because even though I was not making money, I was actually losing money on it. I still enjoyed doing it, and I liked upgrading my cameras, and I liked finding new ways to edit and change the way that I was doing things. It was generally because I really enjoyed it. If you enter this thinking, I want to be big, I want to be successful, I want to, I don't know, make money or have many subscribers, if that pressure is there from the get-go, I feel like it's not going to be for you, because it takes a really long time to grow. And I wouldn't really say that I am successful. I would just say that I am consistent. Many more creators that are way bigger than me and that do things way different. I think I just focus on the things that I like, and I think that's what helps me to go along, but I do feel like it is possible to become a successful influencer nowadays. My only advice is do something that you love. It doesn't matter if you think no one wants to watch it. It doesn't matter if you don't think that it's going to perform well. Do it for the love of putting it out, and you will find your people. You will make a community and you will eventually get on it. There's people that I found on YouTube, I would say a year ago, they just started posting and now they're even bigger than me. And I find that to be absolutely amazing. And that's just because they generally made amazing videos that I enjoyed watching. So I wouldn't see it as being a successful influencer. Put what you like out there. And if it sticks, amazing. And if not, and you still enjoy doing it, keep at it or try something else. For example, for me, TikTok never really worked. It's just, I don't think I am made for TikTok, so I've always just preferred YouTube. How are you not shy when filming outside, like in public restaurants? I actually am. I am still 7 years later, very, very embarrassed to film outside. I'm just gonna say it. I feel like people really hate seeing other people film themselves in public, like vlogging, but they really enjoy watching vlogs. So I always feel very awkward, so I never do it when I'm alone. It's always when I'm with someone. And for example, if I am with Polo is basically sitting in front of me and I put the Osmo, which is my camera, the one that I use for speaking, I put it in front of him. So for most people, it looks like I am actually talking to Polo, or I try to hide the camera somewhere. And the ones where I am like talking, walking, I am basically walking behind Polo. But yes, I get very nervous, feel a lot of judgment most of the time. I get it, but you need to find ways to cope with it. I've gotten a lot of questions on how I color grade and if I use any specific LUTs and my camera gear. My camera is the Sony FX3 and I film in S-Log. My lens is the Tamron, I think it's 24-70. I need to confirm, but I think it is 24-70 or 25-70. And when it comes to color grading, basically that's always different. Depends on the video, depends on the location, depends on the light. I basically add like a neutral LUT on top of it, like the basic one that comes with the camera that I put on top of it, and then the rest is like just color grading. And sometimes it's different for each clip, sometimes it's different for each video, so I don't really have one, but I'm always chasing like softness, a warm feeling, vintagey, more cinematic rather than super sharp and modern, if that makes sense. I don't know, I always feel like sometimes the greens, I get a little bit overboard with them. Someone asked how I plan my trips. Are they organized by me or if I'm invited? So it depends if I'm working with a hotel or a destination or a brand. In that case, they plan, I would say, like 60-70% of the trip, but mostly it's actually Polo. He thrives on planning. And it's so funny because before I was with Polo, I'm very type A. I have Excel sheets for pretty much everything. I like to have charts, canvas, and if Polo is not coming, I'm perfectly the one that plans. But I love the fact that he loves planning and that he's so good at planning trips that when I'm with him, I can just focus on vlogging or enjoying. I literally turn my brain off and I follow him. He's the one who knows which terminal we're gonna go to, asking for the cab, picking the hotel. Of course, when we plan like a really big trip, we sit down together and we just like choose the hotels and the important things, but the little things that is like the rest, I let Polo handle it. And I will always be so grateful for that because it allows me to focus a lot for what I want to create and also get to enjoy. So I think this way we both get like to experience the trip as much as we can, but also do something. And for me it's filming and for him is planning, and I promise you guys he enjoys it. Now I do have one question here that is like a little bit more serious. I got asked, how did you find your whimsy? I think it's so Lou. And how is your mental health? So I think many of you guys that have been following me for quite a bit will be able to notice that I've changed a lot. Not changing like personality, but I feel more open. And I was never really going to share about this until I really got to think about it, because for 20 years of my life, I struggled with such bad anxiety and depression, but mainly anxiety. And I was so against taking any medication because of what I've seen people talk about, because of sometimes things that you read on the internet. And I had a friend who started on meds and it didn't really go very well for her. So for me, it was like an absolute no. However, after going to therapy for 10 years and I was feeling like anxiety was kind of ruling my life in a way, and I felt like I was doing everything that I had in hand and it was still not getting better. I know that I've never really shown like the hard parts because that's not what I intend to do here on social media. I just want to make something good that makes people feel good and happy and like your days feel easier, not harder. But what changed my mind was I followed this influencer that I really like, and she shared the exact same thing, that she was struggling with really bad anxiety and depression and she was very against meds, and that she started on them and she actually regretted waiting for such a long time to try it out because she felt truly that she had not been living life like other people. That really made me think about it, and I started to have these conversations with my therapist and regarding that I was really scared on starting and that I didn't want to, and I did. And I'm gonna be here to tell you guys that I wish that I would have tried it sooner, because the difference that it has made with my social anxiety, the overthinkingness, the not being able to sleep. I was at some point having panic attacks almost every single day. But just for context, I have CPTSD, that it's like complex post-traumatic disorder. I'm not gonna go very deep into it because this is not the place. For me, I've never been someone that likes trauma dumping on the internet. It's not the place. That's what I have therapy for. But for anyone that has been on the fence, that has tried therapy, meditation, everything, and you just think like meds are never gonna be the answer, I would just maybe give it a try and talk to your doctor. Because for me, first of all, getting the proper diagnosis, then going to the correct therapy for it, because right now I am doing EMDR, which I'm not gonna lie, it is something else. And I'm so glad that I am doing EMDR, that I am following treatment, because I don't know how I would be able to handle it. And I also hope that this could help someone that has been on the fence, that has been struggling for quite a while. That's what you see on social media, because I'm aware that I post videos that it looks like so happy and so bright and so easy, and maybe life is not that easy. It's just what I choose to share online. Just don't compare yourself to people online. You never really know what they're struggling with behind cameras. Same as your neighbor or anyone in your life, really. But I have to say that at first it was rough. It's allowed me to find my whimsy. That's the way that I've been calling it. I just been able to finally have and give myself like the childhood that I wish that I had. If I want a pink sofa and I can get a pink sofa, I'm gonna get a pink sofa, and I'm gonna read the books that I want to read. And I've been listening to the music that I used to love so much, getting a little bit outside of my comfort zone. And socially speaking, like my social anxiety was so bad to the point that going to anything like social media related for me felt impossible. It's still not my thing. I will always be someone that just really loves sitting down and talking to my camera. This has been getting a little bit long, but I got so many people asking this question that I think it was worth addressing it and give me the, I wouldn't call the bravery to talk about it, because this is something that I don't really talk about, but I've been doing better, and I think it shows in many aspects of my life. I don't know if this is a season. I don't know if it's something that is going to work long run, but for now I'm just like happy where I am, and I'm the healthiest that I've been. And definitely I still have really hard days, but it's made my life way easier, and I feel like my brain and my mind has like a calmness that I've never experienced before in my entire life. So sometimes you do need a little bit of help, and there's no shame in it. Also, I found this amazing thing that is called eyeshadow stick, and it's by Dior, and this one is in the color 24 Celestial Star. On the same lines of mental health, I got a lot of questions about house hunting and the countryside, if I'm considering moving to the Italian countryside, the Spanish countryside, the French countryside. And I'm not gonna lie, like kind of fell into a slump when we came back from Italy, because I didn't want to come back. Like I cried on the car ride to Milan because I didn't want to leave the house. because I was just so happy. And I know that it's a little bit weird that I just crave with my soul a house in the middle of absolutely nowhere and have tons of animals, being able to sit under a tree and just edit and film my videos there. I don't know if my videos would get boring because there would be no city. I could always keep traveling, but it reassured it for me that that is what I want. However, I'm also realistic because I know that we need the city, and I know that Polo also enjoys the city. He loves the countryside. I think we need to find the balance. The problem is that I think we could move to the Italian countryside, but later on in life. Right now, my life is in Barcelona, and if we find a house, it would be close to Barcelona, and we would live part-time in the country house and part-time here. We both basically work from home and remote, so we have absolutely no problem just like going from one house to the other, and also the dogs were super happy. So I guess my response right now would be Spanish countryside, but I am not against retiring in the Italian countryside. I just love Italy. I love Italians. I love the food. I love the culture. I love their disposition and just how easy it is to meet people and make friends there. Everyone was just so nice. So I did break down when we came back. Are kids in the foreseeable future or not yet? Just curious, no rush. Since the day that I got married, I get the kids question asked almost every single day. I'm gonna put some setting powder because I think I'm a little bit too glowy. Now, decisions for the highlighter. Glazed mint, glazed pink, or glazed bubble. These are my latest obsession. I have one that is clear, and that's basically just super moisturizing, and I use it all the time. I think we're gonna go with pink. I get asked the kids question pretty much every single day, and I understand. All of my friends are having kids. Like my best friend from Mexico, she has a baby. I love him to death. I wish that I could be closer because he gets so big every single time that she sends me a picture. And Kasha had a baby recently. See, the thing is that I don't feel like I'm ready for kids. I am not in a rush. I don't want to put myself on a timeline, and motherhood, it's not something that I think anyone should go in pressured. Like, it has to be something that you are so ready for it, 100% certain that is the timing, because I feel like right now it would definitely impact our lifestyle, and we both love the life that we have right now, so we don't really want to right now, and we don't have an amount of years. We will know when it's time and when we both want to. And right now, like, of course I get baby fever, but I have Archie for that. Kasha's baby, he has my heart, and I love taking care of him and playing with him. He's the cutest thing ever, and he definitely scratches that age, and I'm happy to be an auntie for now. I think it's also important to note that for me, I want to make sure that mental health wise, I have sorted everything from my childhood, from my insecurities, for the goals that I want to be like the best version of myself, to be a really good mom. It really matters to me that I have fixed everything that I feel like it's not complete on myself before I am able to be everything for someone. I think it's the most responsible thing to do. But I do love kids, and I think I will love being a mom. I already love so much Masha and Oli that I cannot even imagine having a kid, but yeah, not anytime soon. I think we're done. I'm just gonna put some lipstick. This is the Dior Addict in the shade Adorable. I love it. This has been one of my favorites, and it's also super moisturizing. But yeah, also tying it back to mental health. This is why I've been trying to lean a little bit more into my inner child to fulfill a lot of things that I just always wanted to do. And now that I am an adult, I can give them to myself. So just going to Disney, that I just love it. I have a lot of fun. And the music, everything, just like, it makes little me so happy, and I plan to keep doing it until I get tired of it. So yeah, I don't know how crazier I'm gonna go into the whimsy, but I'm just gonna go where it takes me. Now, I really wanted to reply to this question. I've heard people who move to Spain say it's hard to stay in Barcelona because locals aren't always welcoming. Have you ever felt that way? So this is quite the topic, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think the reason why people have a hard time moving to Barcelona and feeling unwelcomed is if you come here and don't attempt to learn the language, if you don't pay taxes, if you don't respect the local culture. I personally, as a Mexican, yes, I am also Spanish, but my accent here in Spanish is in Mexican. They can clearly tell that I come from outside, and every single person in my building, in my area, I live in a very Catalan area, so very, very local. You don't have a lot of expats around here. They are the nicest, the most welcoming. Not once felt unwelcome here. A few things that I've done is asking for the menu in Catalan, trying to learn. I haven't really gone to classes, but I'm actively trying to learn as much as I can. I've reached the point where people speak to me in Catalan and I can reply in Spanish, and they are never ever rude about it. Like, they don't care as long as I don't make them have to speak to me in another language in their own home. I feel like that's the thing. People don't understand that Barcelona is in Catalonia and they have their own language and its own culture, and there's so many people that come here and they raise the prices of the rent, and they come here with remote jobs from the US or the UK. Therefore, they don't really pay taxes here and they just increase the cost of living. Also, the culture, the way of living, from the way that they express themselves. Like, for me, a very big cultural shock was, we are very polite in Mexico. We're so nice to everyone. Where we always ask, can I please, or may I have this, or may I have that? And here they're just way more direct, and I would feel like people were like a little bit too harsh. I just learned to understand that that's just the way that they speak, but never ever have I been treated wrong. I've always tried to come here and become a full citizen and be respectful and really immerse myself in local culture and neighbors, local businesses, local restaurants, and honestly, it is amazing. However, yes, there's a lot of tourism and dislike, I would say, but to a very specific type. So yeah, I don't know, I can only speak from my experience, and for us, never ever ever had any issues, and we've always felt very welcomed, and I adore living in Barcelona. Now we have a few lighter questions. Why don't you like epsom leather? I have the same thoughts and want to compare. So for me, epsom leather is the worst leather that Hermès offers. I understand that it's lightweight and durable, but it feels like plastic to me. Once you scratch it, there's nothing that you can do. The color payoff, I don't know. I don't love it. It's just like Chanel caviar. I will always prefer a bag that is more delicate, but that the leather is so rich and has like heritage. So for me, it's mainly that. Oh, we're gonna need Polo come for this one. If you got an Hermès special order, but Polo chose everything, what would he pick and would you like it? We have not discussed this. I'm gonna ask him to come. So there's actually a question for you. Okay, so they're asking, if you were gonna make a special order, you have to choose everything, but it's for me, what would you choose?
I think it would be a Birkin 25. I don't know, if like a pastel.
You need to be very specific. Okay. Also, need to note, you can do the
hardware
on different, and the little arms on the Birkin on different color, and the inside can also be different color.
It will be Swift, a pastel. I don't know, because you already have like the green, so I don't know if like blue again with platinum hardware. But yeah, not sure about the color. Blue pastel on the outside and orange on the inside. Yes.
Okay, in palladium hardware.
Yes, or champagne, or is there champagne?
Yes. Well, kind of. It's called a thermobras.
That one.
Swift.
Yes.
Okay. Well, everything was fine until he got into the orange interior. I think I would do something maybe in box if it was offered, and if not, Swift, definitely. Yes, a light blue. I think that would be so pretty. Or maybe a lilac. And the hardware, I would do permabras. That he's correct. And the inside, if the bag was blue, I would pick, I don't know, like pink inside. If there was like another shade of blue, but that was still pastel, like periwinkle blue, I think that would be it. Now we have Ali joining us. So he's always trying to eat my makeup. So this was the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and that it was not too long. So if you have any questions for the next Q&A, please feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you're not done watching, I'm gonna leave you 2 videos right here in case you want to check them out. Thank you and see you on the next one. Bye!